You were always a music guy and still are.
Yeah.
I'm a big Merle Haggard fan.
Oh, yeah.
And you used to say something like, like that song would come on the radio, that song's like the business.
Oh, yeah.
And so I wrote a couple of them down for you. I was
All right.
get your take on a few of them as we wrap this thing up. Man, Turn the Page, Bob Seger.
Seeger's great road tunes. You can't tell me you haven't cranked it and just sang it obnoxiously down to that.
Even Night Moves, but
Yeah.
just Seger. But Turn the Page. That's a great road song. It's about the business.
Yeah.
Of course, man, you got to turn up the vibe a little bit of this one. On the Road Again, Willie Nelson again. Willie Nelson.
And Hennig would always throw in things. I just, making money with my friends instead of music, and it's a happy, upbeat song, because that's another thing I learned from Hennig is instead of going, wow, I'm going to Des Moines, you go, we're going to Des Moines.
Yeah.
Like it's everywhere, wherever we are is the place to be.
But that was always the thing about Curt Hennig. He was so positive. I mean, if the guy ever had a bad day, and you knew him much better than I did, he was just so positive. I mean, not like Dallas, because Dallas positive in a different way, but Curt just had a unique take on things, and the glass was probably 3/4 full.
Overflowing.
Yeah.
But I've seen him turn it on. I've seen him be like, oh, and then go, hey, how you doing? Hey, hey.
Right.
And that's when I learned, click, I get it.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Don't sell for anybody.
Yeah.
Don't let guys see you sell.
Midnight Montgomery, Alan Jackson.
It's just so sad, I remember I used to love to listen to country lyrics to think about interviews.
Yep.
Like a way to communicate a feeling and stuff. And like some of these country songs have it.
Well, then probably none had it probably more than The Ride by David Allan Coe.
If you're big star bound,
let me
warn you, it's a long, hard ride. Yeah, I like that. Can you make folks feel what you feel inside?
Right, and that's basically what you're trying to do inside the Squared Circle.
Let me tell you if this rings a bell with you. I remember Johnny Weaver, a little before our time, but he was still like still working in Charlotte when I broke in, and he would do the thing that was 4 cents a mile trans. So he would have his brand new caddy and charging like young boy opening Mascot trans, whatever. I need a ride.
Yeah.
But I remember he said one time we were talking, and this is when I don't know anything about wrestling, and he goes, the two strongest emotions people have is fear and greed. He said, like, fear is what they feel when the babyface is selling. And the greed comes in during a comeback, like it's more. Now, I've never asked anybody else about that. But I remember him saying that and never forgot it.
Right.
I don't know how well that breaks down, but when I look at music, no one ever was moved to write a country song about, I had an average day today.
Yeah.
It's either like things are going great or things are going horrible, or I'm so in love or I'm so lonely, and it's all these things like that. So. And growing up being a Dusty fan, the way they would do interviews there, and I always like to go to country music for lyrics. I didn't get the chance too much as Razor because I talk so slow and so little, but
that was an effective promo.
Yeah, and that was all Vince going, no, make them wait. I'll never forget when I debuted in the Garden against Savage, and they're playing my ring music. You know how you know when to hit when your music's, and Vince goes, make them wait.
Yeah.
And I remember, so I started stretching. Now I'm going to make you wait. And now he's going, okay, and I'm still stretching. Yeah, no, you wait, rich man. But, so many, I still listen to country music. I try to turn my son onto it. I'm going, listen to this whole country, and he's listening to gangster rap, so.
Wrapping up Bootleg here in Atlanta with Scott Hall. Hey, man, I mean, sit here and just go through a whole chronology of your career. I know we didn't hit everything, but throughout your years in the business, what's the most important thing you learned about yourself?
Wow. Well, I've never been one to take myself too seriously, so I think that has been something. I think, like I was mentioning earlier, I really welcome the make-believe part of wrestling, the way that getting to be a character, because I don't think I really had any success or got over when I was Scott Hall, AWA Scott Hall, because I was Scott Hall in the grocery store, Scott Hall in the gym, Scott Hall in the ring, and I didn't know how to flip the switch. So it wasn't until Dallas gave me a new look and I got to be somebody else. Like I'd meet people and they go, what's your name? And I go, Scott Hall. And they go, no, what's your wrestling name?
Right.
I go, well, Scott Hall. And then they'd make a face like, oh, it's kind of blank. So for me it was, I don't know, giving myself a chance. Like for me, it was the whole new look. Taught me how to be a character, which then I felt free for the character to act this way. Well, like Scott Hall would never do that,
right.
But like this guy does it, know. And it gave me that freedom. I'll never forget one time in Kansas City, I put on a mask, and I remember thinking, whoa, I felt so free. Like just run around in the bar, like slapping girls on the ass, and they don't know who it is. Of course, they don't know it's the big jacked up guy from before, but it just gave me this freedom. I think I just welcomed the freedom that I got, as a pro wrestler. Everything's over the top anyway.
Right.
So outlandish behavior or flashy clothes and stuff. I don't know. It's just a whole new world to me. I grew up on Army bases, real conservative.
Right. As you watch Cody go through the paces right now, paying his dues and learning his way, how do you think he'll do? Any expectations?
I really think if I didn't feel like he had the ability to make it, I would try to discourage him from it. I think he has what it takes, and our business always thrives on new faces. So he's young. I also notice now that he's understanding the different roles guys play in a company. Like some guys are going to be top guys and are programmed to be top guys.
Right.
And some guys are just on the card, like they know they're not a top guy. And it's almost like he's recognizing that in his relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he still finds it exciting and fun. So I'm thinking, cool, I like the way you think. As long as you're contributing to the team win, to the big house and stuff. So I try to stay out of it. I only offer advice when asked.
Right.
With other young guys that I've were proteges, I would go to them. I don't do that with Cody. I think he's got pretty good instincts, and keep my fingers crossed.
What's either your favorite road story or your favorite memory from the business?
I'll tell you what, for me, it's really bittersweet, but I'll never forget the road trip leaving Madison Square Garden after that curtain call. And, I'm in the van with all my buds, and we all made it through, and nobody got injured, and it was a great house. I mean, it was a packed house, and we'd done this curtain call thing that got over kind of crazy, and, and now I'm gone. And it felt so weird to be like driving away. Now Sean's the man. He's the new champ. He's the man. He's happy. And he's even going, well, don't try to come back in a month and we're spanking you in the ratings, And we're thinking, oh God, I might be wanting to come back. And, we don't know what's going to happen. And I remember feeling like just kind of lost. I had no idea what was waiting for me. I knew I was going to get this money. And in the long run, that didn't turn out to be that good of a situation for me. I went there and I went with Kev. So I had a dear friend there, but there was never, I always looked at Vince as kind of like a father figure where he's kind of looking out for you. I don't think I would have struggled and made continually bad decisions like I did had I been under Vince's watch.
Right.
Because I think they would have stepped in. It wouldn't have been like, man, I'm contracted, that you can't talk to me. Right. Because I got lawyers and I'm all lawyered up and I got agents, go through them. But Vince doesn't operate that way. He'd have pulled me aside and said, listen, get it under control or go talk to this doctor.
What's the best thing you learned from Vince? Because I agree with you. At times, he was a father figure for me, as a brother, a mentor. Yeah. He taught me a lot of things.